All right, Tone Man. So listen, episode 14 of the Iconic Podcast.
Let's do it.
If you guys are listening, drop the video a thumbs up and join the conversation down in the comment section. Now, man, listen, there's been a lot of crazy shit happening around the world over the past couple weeks. And I'm not even going to waste any time. I'm going to dive right into it. What do you think about the recent assassination attempt on Trump?
Man.
Because, there was a lot of things being said about that. He was potentially set up, but... that's all up in the air.
It's crazy. The internet's been going wild. There's been so many theories, and it's so interesting the narrative behind it. Right? If you're on the right, it was what it was. Right? An assassination attempt. Somebody unfortunately lost a life. A family lost a really important family member.
Right.
And it was a tragic moment for America when we're having domestic terrorism. Right.
That's exactly what it is.
It's exactly what it is, and it's a shame it's our own people attacking other people. But now the narrative on the other side, it's so interesting. They're saying, oh, it was staged. Some things aren't adding right. And if I were to give my honest opinion on it, I feel like there was a lot of negligence from the Secret Service when you put everything together, all the details, absolute negligence. Like, how do you not see?
A roof.
First of all, you don't see a roof. You don't see a man with with a gun aiming straight at the president with a clean shot.
That's crazy. And he got a few shots off, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was 5 or 6. And if you've seen the actual mapping of the assassination attempt, 1 centimeter, or even a millimeter, you could say, between him getting a clean shot straight on Trump's head
and skimming his ear.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Because even when you look at that. I feel like that day, if Donald Trump would have gotten assassinated, whether you're pro-Trump or not pro-Trump,
right,
it would have caused a civil war.
You're not wrong. That's a good way to look at it.
Because think about it. Not only are these two candidates very polarizing, I feel there's no mediation at this point where somebody's like, oh, okay, I'm pro-Trump, and I like some of the things Biden says too, but I prefer Trump, right? No, It's like screw Biden, right? And screw all you guys on that side.
Yeah, they're very
Trump all the way. Supporters. I don't want to hear what you got to say.
They're very do or die supporters. It's so true.
And there's so much violence now because of it, man.
And Tony, you know what I think too? I feel like if anything, this whole recent assassination attempt, it's almost going to, in one way or another, solidify a win for the guy. And the reason why I say that is because the quote-unquote Matrix has been doing everything to take the guy down over the last couple of years. If you look at the raids on the Mar-a-Lago house, if you look at the ongoing lawsuits, how much did they bust the guy's balls about who he slept with? If he's becoming the president, I'm going to keep it a buck. I simply don't give a shit about that, who the guy's sleeping with.
No, absolutely not. And I think that's the biggest thing we're missing here. Although I feel like at this point, I'll vote Trump, I also feel like all I want for America at this point is a good leader. I don't care who it is. I don't care who their name is.
Yeah.
But to your point, though, it kind of goes back to the whole major conversation, and I'm quoting Andrew here. It's they'll come at you 3 ways. 1, they'll try to incarcerate you. 2, they'll try to ruin your life, ruin your reputation. They'll find a way to tarnish you and shadow ban you from the internet. Or 3, they'll kill you. If none of those things work, and I think to some extent, Trump isn't perfect. I think he's a very rough on the edges. He's not your typical politician.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of genuineness and authenticity around his character. And, it's up to anybody to judge him based on what's on the media and what's portrayed. Because you never know.
Never know.
But to that point, though, man, it's wild what extent people are willing to go to. All because you don't agree with someone's ideologies and his actions and all kinds. It's listen, man.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Yo, it's our fucking president.
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself how he got there. It's someone else's fault.
Exactly.
It was the people. We voted.
And I just feel like Biden is just, and I'm not a Biden hater.
No.
But I just feel like the guy, he's simply not in a position to be the president of the United States.
Run the math on this. He's been in the White House for 12 years.
Okay.
8 years with Obama as his VP.
Yep.
And then he did another 4 as now the president, and he's coming kind of towards his end. We're here in November and January.
Right.
Man, you're 81, and not for nothing, whether you're VP of the United States or the president, that's a hard fucking job.
Dude, it's very hard.
Put it this way. The retirement age in America is 65. What is the 81-year-old doing running the country?
Yeah, that's off.
Right?
That's off.
People at 70 can't even fucking drive.
Bro, tell me about it.
Put that into perspective.
That leads me to a question. Do you think that there should be a cutoff for how old a person can be before they become president of the United States? Like, what do you think?
Absolutely. I think it should go both ways. I mean, we already have an age right now, minimum age requirement to become president. It's 35 years. It should be on the other end as well. After 70, and Trump made a good point, there should be a cognitive test.
I was just going to say.
There should be some examination if you're past the age of 65, 70, where, hey, am I conscious enough and self-aware, healthy enough?
Dude, the guy literally said, he was like, something, we're there to support the President Putin of Ukraine. And it's like, my man.
Introducing Kamala, he's like, and here's VP Trump, and it's like,
are you kidding me?
I swear, it's on the internet.
And I remember like another like funny meme Biden moment was when he was like, we support the Iranian people when there was like the Russia and Ukraine war. It's like, my man, Ukrainian, bro, what are you saying here? Like, what are we doing here? How is this guy the president of the United States?
It's so funny though, because one thing that blows my mind when you look at both politicians, one can barely speak English, but then one thing that is very true about Trump is he does say a lot of lies. If you fact check a lot of his speeches and a lot of the comments he makes, they're just as bad. So it's like, you have to ask yourself the question. All right, do I want someone that builds camaraderie, maybe has a great slogan, gives the United States that identity, the American dream kind of feeling? Or and also, might lie or stretch the truth, or, you have to kind of question what he's saying on all these like big rallies and whatnot? Or do you want someone who can't even speak English and is not all there? And it's almost like a puppet for the country.
He's not all there. That's exactly what he is.
So it's difficult, right? And unfortunately, I really thought we were going to get like a Vivek. I thought Robert Kennedy Jr. was going to...
Dude, anyone at this point, bro. Anyone.
I was even hoping DeSantis was going to be, making a real run for it. But none of those guys.
None of them, right?
We're going to do the same thing too here.
Dude,
so,
you know what, dude? It's such a joke, bro.
It blows my mind that we're at the, and this goes to anybody who's more conservative and doesn't know what direction to go to. You have to pick the best of the worst at this point, unfortunately. That's
what it boils down to.
Because I'm not going to lie. Trump is great at what he's doing. He's more self-aware. He's kind of there. He sounds a little bit more sharper than what it is. But, man, I'm worried for the country. I don't know. I hope we get this great sense of feeling I think we did again in the Trump administration, where everything was cheap. There was like this Make America Great Again thing.
Right.
Things were going in a great direction. I really hope whoever gets elected truly makes America great again, right? And I already missed this. I saw Biden recently. One of the press conferences, I think it was after the assassination, he had like a press conference in the White House. And towards the end of his speech, he's like, what we're trying to do here is... And he stuttered. He goes, you see, the point is, he was about to say, make America great again. I was like, oh, God. Because it's a great slogan, man. The guy's a genius marketing guy.
There was good marketing behind that. Which, Tony, that leads me to like my next question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Like, what do you see for the future for America? Do you see us flourishing, or do you see doom and gloom in the coming years?
So, I'm a natural optimist here. I think we might be heading in a good direction. I feel like a lot of people are at the point where we're fed up with the way America's been going, because we've become the laughingstock of the world.
We really have. We really have.
Don't get me wrong. Like, we're not in this scenario where we're going to collapse, but I think we started on the path, because we need to come back as a country. Like, when 9/11 hit, it didn't matter if you were a Democrat, Republican, a conservative, independent party.
You were American.
You were American.
Yeah, you were American.
You were proud. You were American. We stood together. We're like, fuck terrorists. Let's go ahead and stand against that.
Spot on.
So I think that's going to be the most important thing in all this. I feel like if we get our identity back, we stop this whole, oh, you're woke or you're this or you're that.
Oh, my God.
And you know what? Since I don't agree you need to get canceled, that all needs to stop.
Yeah.
I think we really need to just find some common ground and work together, because the truth is, man, this is one of the greatest countries in the world. And I think we're slowly losing that title, and I think more than ever, we're really falling down the drain there.
You know, I wanted to actually kind of just elaborate on that. although I also believe that the United States is still the best country on earth, I think that it has lost a lot of its appeal or lust, if you will.
Oh, sure.
And I just feel, because, there's been so much crazy crap that's happened over the past couple of years, and there's like school shootings and all this other crazy stuff going on. Yeah. But I feel like now more than ever, if you've ever had the thought of potentially becoming a citizen of another country, now's the time to get that second passport, because in worst case scenario, it's always nice to have a plan B, especially if you get a passport that's like any European country, because then you could obviously travel in and around the European Union. But I just think that like having a plan B is big, and like, bro, you never know what's happening. Like, you see the inflation right now; it's marked as like 3-4%, but the reality is it's way higher. I went and got a Snickers bar like a week ago, bro. I'm not kidding. It was $3.
That's what's nuts about it, and you make a good point there. People are. And this is the interesting about inflation. Overall, they're saying you're right. It's 3-4%, even up to 8% at this point, and that's typically the rate inflation goes year over year, 8%, right? And it's so interesting because now when you go grocery shopping, though, eggs maybe at one point, and I could be completely wrong because I can't remember the last time I bought some eggs, but we'll just say at this point I think it's like, I don't know, it used to be like $3 a dozen. Bro, now it's $6. Run the math on that. It's 50%.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 50% markup
and it's been like that with almost anything you could think about.
I saw such an interesting video on TikTok. Some guy was looking at his old shopping cart. I forgot what app he was using, but it was basically when you get your groceries delivered. And 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was like back in 2021, so think about that. It's only 3 years ago. His exact order was worth $121. It said you could just reorder the same product this year, essentially, because it's part of his history. It was $424 for the same exact amount of items, same products, all at an insane markup.
Bro, look no further. My favorite example is like Home Alone. If you look at like the original Home Alone movies, the kid goes to the store, he gets like 3-4 grocery bags full of stuff. And when he goes to the counter, they're like, yo, your total's going to be like $19.
It's nuts. And tell me this.
Dude, nowadays you can't even get like a pack of chicken fillets for like $15.
For like just normal shopper out there. People say, oh, inflation. Like, yeah, we need to make more money. That's true. But listen, people can't survive even on minimum wage anymore. Have you noticed that over the last couple of years, every supermarket you go to, every CVS, most, if not all, products now are in locked up shelves.
Isn't that crazy?
It's because, man, if you're not making enough money, you have to resort to stealing. And I'm not condoning it, but if I'm at my ends,
oh my god, yo, listen, Tone, you're preaching to the choir. Meaning, like I feel you 100% on that. Like, bro, like just like shifting the conversation a bit. Like, bro, just think about the Copa America final. Yeah. Think about what happened. People literally saw a chance to go into the stadium without buying tickets, and it's like they were just like people have literally no shame. They were going in and you know what that reminded me of? When I watched the people going into the Copa America final and like stampeding, that reminded me of when George Floyd was killed and people started looting stores. Like, where's the connection between that?
I think they went completely wrong with that.
And I just feel like that goes to the point of us talking about how, like, America has lost a lot of its appeal and the trajectory has gone down over the last couple of years.
It's like us looking at New York City, right? New York City, to a lot of foreigners, is the glory, the beautiful, the greatest city in the world. Which, me, myself, someone from the Northeast that's lived here for well over 20 years, it's a beautiful city. But when you really look into it closely, it's deteriorating.
Bro, the subways. It's deteriorating. The subways are garbage. There's rats bigger than cats on the streets.
It is.
There's so many, like you obviously seen the insane amount of foreigners that came in from like South America or whatever, and all the immigrants like all along New York City. Dude, it's crazy, man.
And I think that's what's a bit unfair with this whole policy. What needs to change also. I've noticed that we've been putting other countries first. I think it's time to really put America first. Like, take care of our veterans. Take care of the people living below the poverty line. Have more programs to ensure that people don't have to resort to stealing.
Yeah.
Because it's not even, there's no minority group doing it. It's really a sense of survival I feel like we're getting into. Prices need to come down, man. I don't need to be paying $150 for 10 items of groceries.
I think it's only going to get worse. It's going to get
worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. I think we probably are going to need someone else in office before things really start moving in the right direction. Because I have a sense that people still have their biases, and this is why I say it's so important. Like, we need to get together more and start agreeing on things. I have a feeling when Trump's in office, and depending who owns the majority of the House and the Senate and Congress in general, a lot of things might not get pushed.
That's how it usually happens.
It's going to be one of those things where it's like, oh, I have this agenda against you. We're not going to let these policies.
That's the problem.
So I got a good example.
Not the problem. That's just the American political system.
We'll listen to just what happened recently. So Biden was trying to push the SAVE plan, which was going to forgive 4.5 million people that are, I think, in public works. Their student loans of up to like $35,000. Pretty sure I got an email the other day that I got blocked, and I'm like. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, you're waiting on that check.
Well, to be fair, though, I'm not in public works. I was going to get that thing, but it's like, what the hell?
That's not funny.
But like I said, there's always an agenda around it, and I'm sure there's some macroeconomic things to consider there to really think about. So who knows, man? I don't run the government.
Yep.
I'm just a spectator and hoping, when I go down the street and I get a beer, it doesn't cost me $30.
Exactly right.
You know what's so expensive? Uber Eats, man.
Oh, my God.
I saw the fucking inflation of that.
Bro, if anyone can talk about that, that's you, bro.
Dude, listen to this. Ready? Uber Eats. So over the years, Uber Eats, you get one item. It's like $12, $13. You pay a fee. It used to be like $1 or $2. You'd say screw it. It would be below $20. But it sucked. Okay? That'd be like a Chipotle bowl. You're paying $20, which is fucking crazy. Same thing with like a sub. Bro, now you're not gonna believe this. Now I go to Jersey Mike's. I get one sandwich. I don't add any toppings or extra meat or nothing. It's just a regular basic hoagie. It cost me $23 with tip.
Oh yeah,
$23 for a sandwich, my man.
Listen to this. I went the other day to get bagels.
Uh-huh.
I got 2 bagels with like eggs, a slice of Taylor ham that's like a slice of paper on there. You know what I mean? My man, 2 of them were like almost $20. I was like, bro, the dollar has literally gone to nothing.
By the way, what do you call it? Taylor ham or pork roll?
Nah, it's Taylor ham.
North
Jersey, it's Taylor ham.
I always like. What's funny?
Does Central Jersey exist?
I don't think it does, bro.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And
you go down there though, it's pork roll.
And you know what? It's so funny to say that because I feel the same way about people that say Central Europe.
Is that even a thing?
Yeah, people say like Czech Republic, Poland. That's like Central Europe. In my mind, it's like, dude, you guys just don't want to be called Eastern Europe. You know what I mean?
Well, because there's always that thing, right, where it's like anything out east, you're kind of more still in the Soviet era. You
exactly
got countries
right.
Like Romania.
Yeah. Bro, I'm gonna be really though, dude. I love those Soviet countries.
They have their beauty. I think they do. Like Romania.
They have their beauty, and I think that could be a very good option if you are an American person that wants to go to a cheaper destination. Because if you look at a city like Belgrade, Serbia, dude, it's beautiful, and they have like a big expat community, similar to all the other places in Eastern Europe. There,
I think that's gonna be another thing to consider. Right, it's the dollar's still going strong, still the currency of the world.
Right,
but God forbid that doesn't end up being the case. Like,
well, you obviously know they got like the brick dollar and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. All these new advancements.
But that's when it makes sense that when to leave. It's like, oh, my money will stretch out more, and it's true though, man. Like, where was I recently? When we were in Italy, we went grocery shopping. I had like 40 items with $100.
Oh yeah, it wasn't even $100. That was crazy.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
But then of course, like if you look up the average wage in Italy, it's about 32,000 euros a year. But that's still sustainable, it looks like.
That's crazy,
I'm not sure
right?
how that relates to like a normal wage. But one thing you brought up before was about the Copa America, man. If that's how that tournament's going to end up playing out, the way it did here in America, the World Cup's going to be a shit show here.
Oh, my God. I can only imagine.
Especially, you know what the worst thing I think they did was hosting, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, for hosting the World Cup final at MetLife Stadium. It's great because I'm like 5 minutes away, but if people recall what happened with the Super Bowl when the Broncos played the Seahawks over there, took 3 hours just to leave the stadium after the game.
Dude, it takes 3 hours to leave the stadium during normal rush hour traffic.
Well, right now Luke Combs is performing.
I know, and
so I'm avoiding that style like the play.
Can I tell you something? Like I'm such a clown. I literally just came from the American Dream Mall.
Oh, it was packed.
And I got stuck in that traffic coming out, and I was like, dude, like, how I knew this concert was going to be here. Why did I come here?
It's
you're better off just avoiding that area entirely on nights like that.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story about this. Specifically, just living near MetLife. When my girlfriend was driving back from what do you call it? Oh no, not my girlfriend. My friend John, he was coming from Saddlebrook.
Okay.
And he's coming to my house to watch the Cowboys play the Giants. And it was being hosted in MetLife. Dude, it took him 2 hours. He lives 10 miles away.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's like, you gotta love North Jersey traffic.
What are we doing here?
Dude, speaking of sports, man. So ESPN, which, by the way, no disrespect to ESPN, but I've noticed in the sports world, they have their favorites. I feel like they cater and are also very biased on the athletes and the articles they write.
Right.
And one thing I've noticed specifically is the list they came out with. So this is, in my opinion, like where things get a little controversial.
So what was the list exactly?
So what they did was the top 100 athletes of the 2000s. And we're not going to go through the whole list, but I want to talk about top 5 greatest athletes of the 2000s. So I'll tell you I'll give you the top 3 they listed. Number 1 was Michael Phelps.
Right? No. Like right away, I can't get behind that.
Don't get me wrong. Greatest Olympic swimmer of all time, definitely top 10 greatest athlete of all time. In the 2000s, I'll give him that. Not top 1. Number 2, Serena Williams. Greatest women's tennis of all time. I still don't think
she is a stud, but I think to say like top athletes, like especially number 2, no, you're already right.
We're talking dominance in their sport.
But you're saying in the world, right? You're not just talking about in the States?
No, in the world.
Nah, I call bullshit.
Guess who was number 3? Messi.
Get out of here.
And then number 4, LeBron. And then number 5 was Brady.
Okay, look, LeBron, Brady, Messi, obviously all up there.
Oh, top 3.
I gotta believe that Messi, if not Cristiano, is number 1. Because, look, people in America are familiar with Serena Williams. If you go to any country in South America, go to Argentina, go to Colombia, go to Ecuador, go in the countryside, right?
Oh, yeah.
And ask one of the kids out there, hey, which of these 2 people do you know? And show them a photo of Messi and Serena Williams.
They're going to say who Messi is.
They're going to say Messi, and that's just not South America. That's like every corner of the world. So I call bullshit on that, and I got to believe that Messi is like number 1, if anything.
I would love to ask the audience, what do you think their top 5 is? But let me give you my top 5. I think at this point, and it's unfortunate, as much as I am a Ronaldo fanboy, Messi's number 1.
Yeah, he's got to take it.
He got to take that in. I would say number 2, I would go with LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron.
He's a stud.
And keep in mind, we're talking 2000, so for all you Jordan stands, you can't come at me. There's 2000s list.
You guys don't remember when LeBron James was on the Bubblicious gum or the Hubba Bubba gum? He literally had the yellow label, the strawberry lemonade, I think it was.
Some shit like that.
That's how you know, bro.
Dude, you know what's funny? I'll never forget that one thing with LeBron where he's in like a WWE match and he was having a flip phone. And I'm like, bro, he's still playing, man.
Dude, that just shows, bro.
He's what? I think he's like 49, 39, something like that.
That shows. He's an OG.
He's literally an OG, man.
All right, so I'm listening.
So
run me down the list.
So Messi, LeBron, number 3, I would have to go with, and I'm keep in mind, I'm trying to think like international wise. I would throw in Kobe. I feel like from another basketball perspective, because although I want to lean like towards Ronaldo, like I feel like there's been.
You think that Kobe? This might be a stupid question, but you think that Kobe's bigger than MJ?
No, never. No.
And I feel like MJ's just got like the Jordan sneakers. Those are like big all over the world.
Brand recognition.
Exactly.
What he did for the sport.
That plays into it too.
6-0 in the finals. There's some things you can't take away from him.
Yeah.
I would. It's so funny because even my list is kind of shit. I'm thinking Messi, LeBron, Kobe. I would even go as far to say Brady. I think Brady.
Yeah, Brady I put in there.
Just like he's just one of those goats, you know.
Yeah, he is.
And I would and then I would say Ronaldo, most followed. And even though that has nothing to do with sports, but when you talk about image, influence, his own successes, like top 5 all day, man.
Yeah.
I think top 5. I think Messi and Ronaldo are in that conversation.
I mean, we had the conversation about how followers are your new social credit score, but you know what I'm thinking about, dude?
Oh.
Remember when Jake Paul was having a boxing match against him?
Yeah, he had no stats.
Was it Tyron Woodley there?
Dude, yeah, Tyron Woodley, it was like no record. It was like 2-0. It's like 24 million followers on Instagram. No, it was when against Tommy Fury. They were comparing Instagram followers.
Yeah.
It was like 20 million Instagram followers, 1-0 or some shit like that. Dude, that was great.
No hate to Jake Paul, but that was hilarious.
Speaking of this, before we wrap up here today, man, I want to ask your opinion. So, speaking of Jake Paul, he's fighting Mike Perry tomorrow. And just for like the audience who don't know who either are, I'm sure most people know Jake Paul.
Everyone knows Jake Paul these days.
But Mike Perry is the current bare knuckle champion. And he's been holding that title now for I think like a year. Guy's killing it. He's had some previous fighting experience in the UFC. And if I remember correctly, I think he did something else outside of that. But anyways, as much as I know Jake Paul's fights are essentially rigged, because, dude, somebody obviously...
You think his fights are rigged?
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think so.
I don't think they're rigged. I think that Jake's a good fighter.
But he's definitely fighting a lot of tomato cans. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely... he's giving people paychecks to just get
the thing that I do respect about the guy is, like, he does say, like, yo, I want to fight Canelo. I want to fight McGregor. Like, yeah. I know he obviously wouldn't even be in, like, the same weight class. I mean, you know, now I can't even say that McGregor came up, but... I'm just looking at it like I feel like Jake Paul is calling out the best. Like, he is trying to be that guy.
He is trying, but, bro...
You think that there's better challenges that he could be taking on?
The thing is, bro, I could call out Canelo. And I'll get, like, $30 million for just fighting him. Like, it's... I get what he's doing.
Right.
But I think for his own benefit, I'm happy it hasn't happened. Bro, he lost to fucking Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury's ass.
Yeah.
So imagine, you couldn't beat Tommy Fury. What makes you think you're going to get in there and beat Canelo? Or McGregor, who isn't even that great of a boxer. I mean, compared to the normal person.
But no, you're right. You
know what I mean? He did 10 rounds against Mayweather at the bare minimum, and that was also kind of a bit of a show.
That was crazy, yeah.
But so I think this is another great stepping stone. This guy's a brawler, Mike Perry. He's going to be very aggressive from the rip.
Okay.
He's gonna really push Jake Paul. Now, he's undersized. That's gonna play a big part. He's not a boxer. That's gonna play a massive part. And then, of course, I mean, Jake Paul being Jake Paul, I wouldn't be surprised. He's like, yo, bro, like, here's a couple dollars. Here's $500,000. That's probably the most you ever made in a single fight. You know, let's just make it entertaining.
I mean, he's probably getting the most he ever got paid for a fight just on his purse anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, dude, I got to say, Jake Paul, I think he's a good fider. I think he's actually going to win the fight against Perry.
He is, 100%.
I think he's going to kick Perry's ass, and I think that after he does that, he's going to buy the guy a Rolex.
Oh, like he did with the other guy.
Bro, you see how the guy is, bro. He's got, like, dude, he's literally changed so many fighters' lives. Like, he's shown them money that they could have never seen.
Dude, think about it this way.
In other fighting organizations.
I forgot the name of the guy he just fought recently. He was like some white dude. Journeyman, had like...
Tomato can?
Another tomato can, yeah. And long story short, I think that was the guy Jake Paul bought him a Rolex. And then paid him like $900K. Bro, you pay me $900K to get hit for 2 minutes. Because I think the fight lasted like 2 rounds.
I'd be all over that.
I'll start running. Speaking of which, though, I want to ask you about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because that's another one's going to happen in November.
I think that Jake Paul is going to beat Mike Tyson. Now, a lot of people are going to call me crazy for that opinion. A lot of people are going to say that I'm wilding. But you know how I feel, dude? Firstly, like I said, Jake Paul is a great fighter. And I also feel like this is not the Tyson that came out of prison. Like, you know what I'm talking about. That guy was like a killer. Like, he's just simply not the same guy. And he's obviously going through his own thing. Still obviously a stud. But I give it to Jake. I have to give him.
And not for nothing, I feel like this would be the only way to level the playing field. Because a prime Mike Tyson is, you know, a million miles ahead of Jake in terms of skill, strength, like aggressiveness, everything that's supposed to make you a great boxer to win a match. I think this is the only way, and I think the only thing selling this fight is 2 big names. Jake Paul being a massive social media marketer, and
bro, it's gonna be on Netflix.
Dude, and you know how many users Netflix has? I think pretty sure it's like well over hundreds of millions.
Bro, that's
people,
crazy.
and for free, by the way. No pay-per-view.
Oh, it's free?
So I'm sure there's some massive...
You know how many people are going to join Netflix just for that?
Just to watch the one fight.
Just that fight? Or how many people are going to be asking their brother and cousins for their passwords to get on their account?
Did you hear Netflix might start putting that...
I heard.
Yeah,
honestly, bro, they should.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like I don't really watch TV or series like that. If I'm not mistaken, I'm one of those people, like, I should be on, I forget what they call that, but, like, I have, like, a Netflix membership that I've been paying for months, and I don't even turn the thing on.
You need to get that Rocket Money thing.
Yeah, Rocket Money.
Right,
no
Money.
No affiliation out here.
If you're out there, sponsor us.
Yeah, no affiliation to Rocket Money, but like, I feel like, dude, like, if one person has an account and they're giving it to, like, their 5, 6, 7, 8 friends, like, bro, what are we doing?
Dude, no, but
the company's losing out on numbers.
I think now it's being tracked by, like, Wi-Fi or something, because sometimes if I try to log in somewhere else, it'll be like, oh, this device isn't part of your household. And I'm like, gosh darn it. And I'll be in my own house, which is so weird. But
what? They're doing it by device now?
They do it by device now. So they'll be able to know, like, what device is theirs, what's part of the Netflix account. But no, going back to the whole Jake Paul thing, man.
Yeah.
The guy's a genius. Like, there's one thing you can't take away from him. He knows how to sell a fight. And like we were talking about before on the last episode, like Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz did not have a playbook for that fight.
Oh no,
I don't think they did.
No,
I think
still was a war.
It was a war. Yeah,
I did watch like the rerun, but you know they don't got it like that.
The only thing though that Jake Paul really kind of set him back.
I'm talking about with the marketing, you know.
Yeah, with the marketing, yeah, and I think the only thing that set Jake Paul back out a bit now is his laws, but I've noticed he's starting to kind of creep back up, especially getting a name like Mike Tyson. And I mean, Mike Perry doesn't really do him too much, but it definitely helps still build that interest.
Oh, for sure.
I still want to watch. Everybody's waiting for him to get knocked out.
Isn't it honestly crazy though how like no bullshit, I would rather watch a Jake Paul fight versus Shakur Stevenson. I'm keeping it a bump.
Yo, you're gonna get so much. That one, bro. That's crazy.
Am I gonna have to cut that?
No, you don't have to cut that. That's hilarious. That's so funny. I fucking agree, though. I agree. I'm not even. Bro, that's good. Yo, the comments are gonna remember that one guy in the comments. He was like, "Yeah, man, like these guys don't know shit." I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm here to watch. I want to see guys get knocked out. Like, what the fuck? No, dude, I'm not even kidding. And I'll double down on this. When I went to go see Shakur Stevenson fight, dude,
you told me everyone was walking out.
Everyone was fucking walking out because they already knew it was a unanimous decision, man. So one thing about Shakur Stevenson, and I'm going to give it credit where credit's due. He is currently on pace, if not the current fighter with the least amount of hits landed on him. Like, we're talking better than Mayweather.
That's crazy.
But that shit's boring. You know what I mean? Dude,
Bro,
I used to fall asleep watching Mayweather fight.
He played very strategically, chess match type of style.
Yeah, like, you know, he'd get a point in here. Yep. The guy was going to win. Like, he knew how to do one thing, and that was to win. Now, you see guys like Mike Tyson who knew how to brawl and knock people out cold.
Yeah, it's different stuff.
That's interesting. That's why I made the comment before about the UFC. That's what I enjoy about it. You see more knockouts. You don't have to wait.
UFC is the best. You don't have to wait. Best combat sport, hands down.
And I think the structure of it kind of helps it quite a bit, where you have 3 minute, 5 minute rounds, or 3 minute, 5 minute rounds. 5 minute rounds, 3 rounds.
Yep.
It's easy to determine. It's quick. It's 15 minutes, and it's a good. They have to go all out compared to watching a 36-minute match where you have to pace yourself. First 4 rounds, typically they're filling each other out. They're trying to read each other's movements. But then it's like, all right. Then all of a sudden, he's fucking stop throwing, and you're like, man, when are you gonna want to fucking watch them actually get at it, man?
That's mad funny, right?
It's nuts though, but that shit had me dying.
All right, listen. Listen, we had a great combo tonight. We touched on an array of different things. I don't know how the hell we went from the presidential elections all the way down here. Oh, but give me your final predictions for the elections this year. Like, what do you see happening?
Just the way things are going right now, I think Trump's established his dominance. I think it's going to be a pretty one-sided election at this point.
Right.
I wonder what's going to happen with the debate. I'm hearing rumors now that Biden is on the path of stepping down as early as this weekend. So, I mean, we'll see. But
it's kind of up in the air as of right now.
I think it's going to be a Trump next 4 years.
I think that you said that pretty much perfectly. I actually 100% agree that's how it's going to play out. Make sure you guys leave your opinions on what's going to happen in the election down in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys all next time. Take care.
Peace.